Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies. When we left off in the previous episode, we had some frosty love, death, and orphans. Or I suppose I should say an orphan in Pepin. And we will get to that in a second over here. But we introduced the Frost family into our kingdom with Anne Frost. Yes, that name sounds so cool to me. But she is our only noble character of noble heritage. She is also the very first miner that we have, so now she's taking care of, I think, the iron production. Yeah, she's taking care of the iron production that we have, which we are very grateful for because that is an essential, I was going to say ingredient, but no, material, resource in order for us to build more complicated buildings in the future and continue to grow Lakeburg. So there was that. And then she married Theodoric Baden, who became the third hunter that we have in our kingdom. So their relationship, I think, started off a little bit cold, and I'll have to check up on how they've been going. But yeah, they had a bit of a cold start to their particular marriage. And not long after that, tragedy struck because Loop's wife and our founder, Teresa, she passed away. So she was out, I think, doing her lumberjacking, and then she just hugged a tree, took a nap, never woke up. So he basically became homeless overnight. He and his son Pepin became homeless overnight. And Loop was kind of desperate, and he honestly did not want to be sleeping out on the streets. So he started pursuing Colette. They went out on a date. Everything worked out fine for the two of them, even though compatibility didn't seem to be quite up there. They were both, one was widowed, obviously. The other one had divorced with her husband, and they were both suffering from heartbreak. But I guess they really wanted some sort of companionship because they got together, they got married. Now, of course, because the Korb family only had room for one child, that spot, quite obviously, is going to be reserved for Valerius, Colette's own son. So, unfortunately, Pepin is now an orphan. His father literally left him behind for his new wife and his new stepson. And Pepin's only 6 years old. This poor kid is out on the streets at 6 years old. Anyways, so he was kind of wandering around, and then Anne actually noticed that he has a bit of an affinity with, mining, working the stone, not in the way that the mason does, but working through the stone to get to the metals. So she decided to take him in as her apprentice. So now he is an apprentice miner, and this way he will learn some skills, hopefully, to be able to feed himself in the future. Pepin, I hope you have a good life. And I really hope someone adopts Pepin. We have 3 families, yes, who have yet to have any children. I think it would be ideal if Anne and Theodoric adopted Pepin as their son. That would be very nice. But the Bonnet family or the Keller family might decide to do that as well. So that is something we are going to be looking out for. A poor little Pepin, guys. A poor little Pepin. He's homeless. So is Eberulf, Colette's ex-husband, who is, out on the streets. So we have some citizens, guys, living rough lives. Living quite rough lives. But okay, we are going to continue, see what sort of growth we can have. We have, a vacancy at the Lumberjacks Lodge right now. I think we want to wait up for a recruitment, or buildings to be made. Yeah, we've got 9 months before the next recruitment, but I think we can wait up a little bit. But let's go ahead and see what these guys get up to. Oh, actually, should I go check to see how... I don't know how much time has gone by after they were married. Okay, they got married and not much happened because the whole heap happened with some other families. And I don't think these two, they got married. So we need to let some time go by before we check in on them to see kind of what's going on. Oh. Wait, what? Another divorce so quickly? After a seemingly never-ending marriage, Raymonda and Bjorn decided to break up and go their separate ways on their own. Oh my goodness. Raymonda and Bjorn, our Steamster and Baker, the ones who had really bad personalities, I guess they couldn't stand each other. They decided to get divorced. Wait, what? Who the hold on a second. I'm getting way too excited. But like, what's going on? Slavomir and Brynja have met and had their first kiss? Slavomir, what are you doing? What are you doing? These guys who are in like safe and secure marriages, you know, are risking the roof over their heads for each other. I mean, you guys, even if you get together and get married, you are never going to be granted a house. Like, how are you? Because all the women own the property. So like, how is that going to work? You're going to be out on the streets together? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, these two, and we got the notice here, so I'm actually wondering, they used to meet up between like the farm and the mason's workshop, or between the hunter's cabin and the mason's workshop, but they came all the way over here and they had their first kiss like right over here, maybe while they were fishing or something. Oh my goodness. I'm wondering, did they like catch a little boat across the river? They caught a little boat across the river and they had their first kiss over here, where maybe they couldn't be disturbed by like the others. Makes sense. I mean, Slavomir's wife, Beatrice, works at the Lumberjack's Lodge, and then Brynja's wife works at the bakery. Maybe they just wanted to, get away from just everyone's eyes. And then on this side, we only have Anne, and she's busy kind of, you know, she's busy training Pepin, so maybe they wouldn't pay too much attention. Like, they're down in the mines. It's not like they're going to be paying attention to what's happening outside, right? Oh my goodness. The drama that is going on. A granary is getting a bit full. We need, we don't have enough money, but we need to increase the space for meat. Oh my goodness. Why is everything such a mess? Okay, well, that is a mess, but this actually means that Eberolf can now try his luck with Raymonda, because Raymonda still has a house, you know. Bjorn, he's going to be out on the streets, but Eberolf might not have to be. So he's going to try his luck with Raymonda to see if it works out with her. So let's go ahead and do that. He's 36, she's 30 years old, so only 6 years older than her. And whether or not they even have compatibility, it's not going to show too well right now because they're both kind of divorced. Raymonda is mean, and then, you know, they're both like heartbroken, so I don't think they're even in the headspace to be thinking about dates. But then again, the last couple we put together, or the last like divorced pair we put together, like divorced / widowed, they apparently were okay with a marriage like that quickly. Their compatibility was awful. I don't think their date was even going that well, or their dates, but they wanted companionship and they ended up together. So let's see if it works out for him this time around. So let's send them out on a date. So they're at the hill by moonlight. We can say there is an absolute charming fishing spot not far from here, or everyone knows that big muscles imply small brain. We're gonna be mean to muscles and brains. And a tiny... Raymonda doesn't end her sentence, but Eberolf got the message. Oh, okay, Raymonda, you didn't have to be so aggressive. You didn't have to be so aggressive, honey. Okay, let's see. Now they're having a boat ride on the lake. It's time to duel or get excited about great libraries. We're gonna get excited about the libraries. Raymonda learned Latin so she could read everything that came to hand. And, oh, look at that! We didn't even have a third date. But apparently, yeah, they're discussing marriage instantaneously. Well, I don't know how this is going to work out for him, but it is a match. He is no longer going to be on the streets. I'm sure he's very, very grateful. Yeah, they've got awful affinity. I mean, the love meet is at 2. They're going to get married. We'll see how that goes. I mean, now he's got a place to sleep. Unlike Bjorn, our seamster is out on the streets now. Oh, Bjorn, I'm so sorry you're having such a rough life right now. Honestly, I'm very sorry you're having a rough life. But time has gone by. I'm curious to kind of see what's been going on with some of these families. So, Colette and Loop, they still haven't had anything happen with them. Okay. And then, who else do we have? Well, the Kellers just got married. And then Anne and Theodoric. Oh, well. We've had one thing. Theodoric forgot Anne's birthday, apparently. Theodoric! How could you? How could you forget her birthday? Oh my goodness. So they're not really off to a great start. They're not really off to a great start. Eberolf and Ramonda are infatuated with each other though. Okay. Okay. I'm keeping an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on that. Oh. Oh, there we go, guys! This is what I was talking about in terms of the adoption. So, homeless child, Pepin's been sleeping in the streets for some time now. It's not an easy life per se, and at his age, it's even worse. Eberolf and Raymonda seem to have a house big enough, so the Martin family could adopt Pepin, but is it really possible? They say Martin, but I'm sure they mean the Keller family, right? So let's go ahead and yeah, we're gonna let them adopt Pepin, which is very nice. Hey presto, the family grows. What more could they want? Eberolf and Raymonda are sure they made the right decision. Pepin's future now looks much brighter than what he anticipated. Oh, I'm so happy for Pepin. So he ended up with a farmer and a baker as his new parents, although his mother is very, very mean. Hopefully his life at home is okay. But I mean, his father's a decent guy, so, you know, things might work out well for them. Things might work out well for them. If his father has anything going for him, it is that at least he cannot be accused of abandoning his son, you know? So that's okay on that front. Okay, let's have a look. Eberolf and Theodoric met each other, the narrow acquaintances. So Theodoric, our third hunter, has met Eberolf the farmer, and they seem to be going okay. Let's see, yeah, they know each other. They might become friends at some point. So he's having, like, decent relationships around town. We can do some bartering. Oh yes, we need some gold. We'll give some of the meat for gold. I think we have like an excess of meat anyways. Okay, let's keep gathering our resources and we can now recruit someone. Excellent. We can finally recruit someone. So let's see who's going to come in and how they're going to shake up Lakeburg. We have a vacancy with the Lumberjacks Lodge right now, and that's all. So let's go ahead and see who we have available. So we have Frederick, who can be a fisherman, hunter, or gatherer. He's 22 years old, of peasant class. And then we have Drusilla, who's 24 years old, peasant class. She can be a mason, huntress, and lumberjack. She looks so pretty, though. Drusilla Pelletier. I might change the last name. But Drusilla looks really, really cool. Wow, and yes, the Lumberjacks Lodge is where we have the vacancy. Heck yeah, let's get Drusilla. She looks really pretty. Peasant class, 24 years old. I want to recruit her. She looks very, very pretty. So let's grab her and see what else we can find out about our lovely Drusilla. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna change her last name. Knapp? Drusilla Knapp? We might do Drusilla Knapp. I think we can deal with that. So we have Drusilla Knapp. She is social, proud, and rowdy. Okay, all like good traits for her to have, which is nice to see. And no like genetic traits to pass on to her children. In terms of her likes and dislikes, she likes muscles, painting, and the art of war. Doesn't like dancing, music, and fashion. So she's not really... I mean, she is social, apparently. But I suppose she doesn't like, you know, she doesn't like tunes and music, and I think she's not for, like, the arts that require coordination and the arts that require music and tunes. She's more of, like, a quiet, introspective sort of artist, you know? Okay. And she appreciates, you know, someone with a nice body. And the art of war makes sense. She knows how to defend herself, basically. Okay. I feel like inside, like, she's a tough woman that has a very soft exterior. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from her. I like her, though. Let's go ahead and let her settle in as our new lumberjack. And she can help out Beatrice. So our wood production is going to go back up. I think some of our, or not some of our, but like Beatrice is probably struggling to produce enough wood after the death of Teresa. And oh no, our health is not doing too well. Oh no. the rodent's nest. Now that we have 15 villagers against, the rodent's nest has opened up a slot. So that's kind of impacting us a lot more. And our health gauge has gone down to 52.9%. Villagers might develop the flu now. Oh no. Okay, Drusilla, I think we have a vacant house actually. You're gonna move into this house. So now we have the Nat family. And we need you to find a husband. And we don't have any vacancies. Oh, no, we do. Sorry, hold on. So ideally, someone who is a rat trainer would be great. But we do have some of these other things if we need to kind of introduce a new slot somewhere here. So, okay, let's see. What kind of husband is she going to find? Okay. Here we go. And... it's an excellent match. A livestock farmer seems to gatherer. Okay, so introducing hopefully another seamster. He has like terrible personality, or traits, but it's an excellent match for her. He's 25 years old, Evrad. He's mean, obstinate, and a glutton. She has like all perfect traits. He's got all like terrible traits, but hey. This is kind of funny, but Evrad, because of his meanness, he has like a -3% affinity, but it cancels out because Drusilla has social trait, so she's got a +6% affinity, so they come out like 3% better anyways. Look at that. He's of the artisan class. He likes treats, painting, and reading. He doesn't like dancing, cuddles, and meditation. So he is a learned sort of guy, and it seems, even though he's not introspective, but they kind of have similarities. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully it's a match. We'll send her on a date. So we're starting off at the tavern. Do we criticize dancing, dances, and every other activity involving moving in rhythm? Or everyone knows that big muscles imply a small brain. We're gonna go with the muscles and the brains. Everard swaggers to express his disagreement. Oh no, and so now we're going for to the hill by moonlight. We can denigrate Lakeburg's baker and his cloying treats. Or we can say there is an absolutely charming fishing spot not far from here. We'll go for the fishing spot. What a great idea. Drusilla and Evrad are having an extended conversation about the best bait for river fishing. Okay, and now we're going for a boat ride on the lake. We can talk about painting, Drusilla's new passion, or we can talk about the benefits of meditation to focus on present moments. I don't think he likes meditation, so this might actually make things worse, but she's gonna go for the meditation. Too many things are happening in Evrad's life for him to waste time staying idle. I think it might be oh wait, what? It's a match? You know what I'm starting to think? That the dates influence things, but also the affinity you have impacts like how successful you're gonna be with each other, even if you fail the dates per se. Because they have excellent affinity, I think they have a higher chance of like things working out even if the dates fail. I'm kind of starting to think that might be the case. Whereas before I thought you had to get at least 2 out of 3 dates right for it to end in marriage, but as we've seen, there are times when I think it like is going to fail, but it doesn't. So now Drusilla and Evrad are going to get married. Okay. And they're love meter is at 1, but they have excellent affinity, so I feel like they'll be able to build that up really well, really quickly. Even though right now it is a loveless marriage, but it's okay. He's been introduced into the Nat family, and he wants to be a seamster. So we're actually going to open up another slot at the sewing workshop, and he is going to be, co-workers with Bjorn. We'll see how they get along with each other. But I want to see if maybe some of the other couples have anything going for them right now. And these guys just got married. Okay, let's take a look how Colette and Loop are doing. My goodness. So Loop would like more wood for the fireplace, but Colette would rather be careful money-wise. And then Loop grew tired of the bad poems Colette is writing for him. Oh my goodness. See, Loop, this is what happens when you leave your son and you decide to live under, another woman's roof. Maybe she already has a way that she does things and she's used to running things a certain way. And unfortunately life is not going to be as plush as maybe you had hoped it would be. I love that though. I love that because it's like he's asking Colette if they can use more wood and she's like, no, we don't have a budget for that. Oh, that's so funny. That cracks me up. he's not living, you know, the greatest life, and that kind of makes me happy because I'm cheesed off at him. So there is that. Let's check up on Marie and Brynja. No, we checked up on them a while back. They were doing okay. Raymonda and Eberolf. Oh my goodness. Eberolf only talks about himself. Of course he does. And then Eberolf impresses Raymonda each time he speaks in public. You know what? She has a terrible enough personality that I feel like not a lot of people enjoy being around her, and if Eberolf somehow manages not to like talk back to her when she's being mean, she gets impressed. So he's also surviving. He's also surviving. Anne and Theodoric. Yeah, I think last time we checked up on them, Theodoric forgot Anne's birthday, but since then things have been good. Anne and Theodoric have been listening to a bard's performance together, and then Theodoric and Anne shared a really interesting discussion. Theodoric finds Anne exceedingly gorgeous today. Okay, so I think they started off real slow, but maybe, like, you know, their romance is definitely frosty, but maybe it's gonna warm up slowly. The frost is going to thaw eventually, if Theodoric keeps making efforts towards her. So that's nice to see. That is nice to see. But let's see if we can... I was gonna say maybe we should get some more like time going, build up some more resources, but now that we have the 2 lumberjacks, hopefully we collect like wood a little bit faster. But just out of curiosity in terms of the buildings, like what are we trying to work towards? The fisherman's hut, we need 400 wood, 30 iron, 35 stone. Okay, and then for the forge, we need the same amount. And for the building site, that's like far off. So if anything, we're going to have the fisherman's hut or the forge built next. Okay, but that's going to require saving up quite a bit. I mean, the iron, we should get iron done pretty soon. I think it's what, 30, 35 stone? If anything, I think I'm worried about the wood. Maybe the wood. Getting the wood is something we need to keep our eye on. But okay guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.